Hello again, my name is Ernest. Many thanks for choosing us. 4 basic schools in the new Joabin North Municipality of the Eastern Region have been closed down. Now, 2,686 persons are displaced following last weekend's downpour. Records available indicate that the last time flood and destruction of such magnitude occurred was in 1963, when the River Densu exceeded its banks, causing massive destruction to lives and property.
Addressing the media, Municipal Chief Executive for the new Joabin North Municipality, Comfort Asante, disclosed that the situation has led to a closure of the Islamic Basic School, Municipal Assembly Basic School, Methodist Basic School and the Catholic Basic Schools, all in Akwadum. She added some 2,686 persons made up of 977 children and 1,708 adults have been displaced, whilst 203 households are either totally or partially collapsed.
Have been working assiduously day and night to contain the flood situation. So far, data collected throughout the municipality indicates that the worst hit communities are Akwadum and Asokore. The municipality unfortunately recorded 1 death who has since been buried. Figures of affected people recorded is 2,686, made up of 977 children, comprising 489 males and 488 females. Adults affected are 1,708. It is important to state that 203 households have either collapsed completely or partially damaged.
Coordinating Director of the new Joabin North Municipal Assembly, Alhaji Ibrahim Tijani Ampedu Amadu, hinted the Assembly has commenced a review of all building permits in some flood-prone areas. He added that all buildings without permit will be demolished.
At the last statutory planning committee meeting, this issue was discussed extensively. We realized that even those that we give permits are potential threats to the riverbeds and then the flow of the water. So the statutory planning committee has been directed that we should review some of the permitting that we have given already. And those that do not have permits, we are gradually going to pull them down. But due diligence has to be made to ensure that the right thing is done. So gradually, we do not want people to encourage people to be developing on waterways, etc. Much as
So that's the situation in Koforidua. Let's now go to the Director of Operations at the Eastern Region, Office of NADMO, Mr. Kankam Chumesi, for some more detail on the situation. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on News Desk. And so a little over 2,000, that's the figure we have, actually close to 3,000. Is there an update on that figure in terms of the persons affected?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, the figure is 2,686.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is what you have.
That is what we have. Is there an update on that?
No, please. That is what we have now.
Can you tell us the extent of devastation? We know that some property have been lost, persons have been displaced, but how bad is it?
Okay, thank you. The situation is bad, but currently we are okay now. When we did our assessment, we saw that thousands of properties had been destroyed. 1 person died, as you already know, and over thousands of people have been displaced. And we are still waiting to hear from our National Secretariat to get some relief items for the victims.
And I was just coming to the point about relief items because some of them have reached out to us to say that they are in desperate need of these relief items because of the sheer volumes of what they have lost. Some have lost everything essentially and they need help. How soon will these relief items be released from the National so you can distribute them to the people?
Thank you for this question. Please, we were tasked by our Regional Secretariat to draft to prepare our report so that the National Secretariat can, based on our figures, to give us the relief items, which we've submitted since Tuesday. So we are counting on our National Secretariat to act as quick as possible.
And as quick as possible is what, today?
You know, that one will not be coming from the Municipal Secretariat. It will be coming from our headquarters. So I cannot emphatically give you a precise time.
In the meantime, by way of shelter, what are you doing for the people, for those who have nowhere to go?
Some of them are sleeping in schools, churches, mosques.
Can you say that again, please?
We provided them with shelter. Some of them are sleeping in schools, churches, mosques, and other places. And we provided them with portable water, place of convenience, and other stuff.
What indications are you getting as to whether the flood waters will recede anytime soon, and you know the people can return to their homes, at least to salvage what is left?
We've not had any communication yet from the metro, but we are told that the rains will still be coming till November. But as to this week, we think we'll be safe for now.
Is this an area that has always been flood prone, or this is just new?
When we talk of Akwadum's situation, it has never been any flood there. But for Asokore and other places, the places that got flooded are flood prone areas. But for Akwadum, those places that got flooded are not flood prone areas.
So perhaps the high volumes of water we are seeing now, or rain, is responsible for how far and wide this has gone.
Precisely.
Are we looking at evacuating the people because we have indications that there could be more rain? Are we looking at, in the long term, evacuating them onto higher grounds?
Yesterday there was a press conference, and the municipal director directed that those houses, those structures in waterways need to be demolished. And there are some commercial activities at some flood-prone areas that we've marked that those people should evacuate from that place. So we are hoping, and I think if this rain comes down, I think the Assembly will take a very bold decision to act, because NADMO as a department have advised the Assembly on that.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Kankam, for your time here on News Desk. And that's
You're
the
welcome.
Eastern Regional Director of NADMO. He says they have forwarded their list, their demands to the headquarters. They are not sure when the relief items will be released, but we'll be following on the story. And from the Eastern Region, let's return to the Gasalt municipality, because there's a desperate plea from hundreds for food and other basic essentials as the flood continues in the region and the people remain out of their homes for a third straight day. Some of the victims, including children, are relying on family and friends for a sleeping place. Others are also sleeping in makeshift structures. My colleague Mark Sologba has been monitoring the situation for more than 3 days now. He is still on the ground and joins us with a live update. Maxwell, we are learning that there are signs of the water receding.
Yes, Fred, in the sense that
is that we have visited so far. The water level is going down. It is subsiding in many of the areas that we went to just about 30 minutes, 45 minutes ago. Many of the residents are happy that at least they can now heave a sign of relief. They are hoping that there wouldn't be more rains, because if there is more rain, the Ghana Water Company Limited will be compelled by that to open, the spillway here to allow the water in the dam, the excess water in the dam, to drain from here into the ocean. So this is what happened. This is the genesis of all that we've been reporting from Tuesday, Wednesday, and indeed earlier today, Thursday. So all of these water that you are seeing is what is going downstream to flood the communities, Weja, SCC, Choice, Modest, Tetegu, and all the communities affected by the flooding. What you're seeing now is a mild version of what happened on Monday, because we were told that the spill gates, 4 spill gates were actually opened. Now 3 of them have been closed, and the information that we're picking indicates that this is just one spill gate, that has been opened. So just one spillway, but you can still see the ferocity of the water. You can see the intensity, of the water, and all of this is going downstream. It gets downstream, and then we see, the consequences. But Ernest, we've been hearing from officials here who've been telling us that, look, this is a necessary evil, because if they do not do this, the dam, the dam would break, and then when that happens, the consequences will be very, very devastating and deadly. They tell us that what we're seeing right now is a controlled situation. If they do not spill, if they do not open the spill gates and the dam breaks right now, all these communities that you see downstream are likely going to be wiped out. So it's a necessary evil for them to spill the excess water from the Weja Dam. But visiting the communities, we've seen some personnel of the National Disaster Management Organization. They started another phase of the operation today. They're still knocking on doors, visiting communities such as Tetegu, helping people who still are unable to come out from their rooms. They tell us that they've been able to rescue many of them. That happened yesterday. We saw them carrying aged people. We saw them carrying nursing mothers, pregnant women in their speedboats, and then taking them to safety. We saw military trucks also carting the household appliances and all items salvaged by affected residents to the dry land. We're told that they are not resting on their oars. They are continuing with that operation today. And indeed, when we were on the ground, we saw them there. We are hoping that these efforts, would continue till the week ends. But what we are likely not to see is power being restored anytime soon. Our sources at the Electricity Company of Ghana tell us that they are in touch with the National Disaster Management Organization. They are doing their own assessment, and until they are satisfied that it's safe to restore power supply, it will be very difficult for them to do so, Ernest.
Maxwell, thank you very much. But just before you go, what can you report about how the people are managing? I mean, there's a request for food, for water, and for other essentials, even as they enter 3 straight days out of their homes. How have they been managing for all this while?
Well, Ernest, when I visited Tetegu, what I saw was that many of the residents have started killing their livestock. And we saw them killing dogs. We saw them killing chicken. We saw them killing cats yesterday. We got curious. And we got closer and asked them why they were doing that. They told us that they are starving. Many of them say that their source of livelihood has been, swept away by the flood. And as it stands right now, they do not have anything to eat. They do not have any money on them. A man who I met at Tetegu, who operates a corn mill in that community, told me that all the money that he had saved, he didn't take it to the bank. He kept it in his room. And so when the flood waters entered his room, it swept everything away. And now that corn mill shop that he usually opens every day to get money to feed himself and his family is no more. Another man we met who is a poultry farmer told us that he's lost everything, including the fowl in his poultry farm. So that is what we are talking about. Many of them have lost their source of livelihood, and they have been calling on the National Disaster Management Organization to come to their aid with relief items. They say that their mattresses have been swept away by this flood water. And as it stands now, they do not have any place to sleep. If they get mattresses, they should be a bit okay. That provides some kind of relief for them. At least they'll have a place to put their heads. But as it stands now, sometimes they just have to sleep on benches. Some of them tell me that They just have to make do with a mat on the floor and then sleep. So it's a desperate plea for relief items from the National Disaster Management Organization and all other government agencies that can help in this particular situation, Ernest.
Maxwell, thanks for the updates there from Wager, and of course you will be on the ground to keep us up to speed with the latest happenings in the South municipality. Away from that, let's turn our attention now to illegal mining. President Koforidua says his office will not protect persons in government found complicit in the fight against illegal mining. He announced a new legal regime where Ghanaians found complicit will spend between 15 to 20 years in jail after being fined heavily. Also, foreign nationals who are found complicit will face stiffer punishment. And now Jima has more in the following report.
Illegal mining operations have been rife in parts of the country. Some persons in high political offices have been accused of being complicit in the fight against illegal mining. These include the president's representative in various metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies, as well as party members. The president says the necessary evidence should be prescribed against suspected persons. At a meeting with the MMDCs in mining communities across the country, the president asked them to clear their names by enhancing their fight against the menace.
You are my representatives in each of your metropolises, municipalities, and districts. You are the representatives of the president. It cannot be that the president at the national level is waging a war against Galamsey, and you at the local level, my representatives, are compromising that fight. That cannot work. I'm not here to threaten anybody, but I want you to know that this is a struggle that I take very seriously. And I will not be in a position to protect anybody against whom evidence is masked about their complicity in this matter. What happens in Ghana is that there are accusations are made against people en blanc, in gros, MMDC. I don't operate with that. I don't operate with rumors. I'm a lawyer. So I'll always be dealing with facts. But if facts are brought, you will be invited to comment on it.
Already, the district chief executive for Bosome Frehon, Yao Danso, has been summoned to clear his name in illegal mining activities in the area. President says the passing of the DCE's spouse is keeping him from responding to the call.
Your colleague in Bosome Frehon, there have been public accusations about his involvement. He's been summoned by the Minister for Local Government to come and answer. Unfortunately for him, it has coincided with the death of his wife. And apparently tomorrow is the first week, the 1 week celebration. So he has not been able to respond. But when the 1 week celebration is over, he will have to respond. And depending on the quality of his response, we will decide what the future holds for him. But that is the process that we're going to apply to anybody against whom allegations are made.
Well, the president has also admitted that Ghana's fight against illegal mining has so far yielded no results. The president made a difficult pledge of putting his presidency on the line, but still, the fight has not been won. The situation has only gotten worse. More water bodies have since been polluted and rendered useless, while farms have either been destroyed or cut off from their communities.
I am prepared to put my presidency on the line on this matter. I've heard it being said that I should be careful. Many of these people voted for me, and if I continue this exercise, perhaps they will not vote for me again. If by the grace of God I'm in a position, my party allows me to go again, and I have the health and everything to go again, that I'll not get it again. And I'll say to myself, well, this is a choice that all of us have to make as human beings. You do what you think is right, or do you do what you think will allow you to get along? I think that you do what you think is right. That is what you're required to do.
So that was President Akufo-Addo there. Well, he still stands by that, and he's announced a new strategy. Of course, the legal regime that will deal with persons who are found complicit for locals, and also stiffer punishment for foreigners who are caught in this act. Listen to President Akufo-Addo again.
Even though for centuries we have been a mining nation, mining did not pose a threat to the health of our environment and water bodies. The rules that you put in place for mining ensure that the sanctity of our lands remained intact and our water bodies remained unpolluted. Tragically, in the modern era, that is no longer the case. And that is why I've come to you today to talk about how together we can repair this dramatic situation. Since I took office on 7th January 2017, nearly 6 years ago, I have made it a central feature of my presidency to lead in the efforts to rid our country of this madness, which we all now call galamsey. Indeed, it was an important aspect of my inaugural address of that day. It has not been easy, it has not been popular, and we have not got the immediate results that I was looking for. My stance on the issue cost my party and I significant losses in the mining communities. It turned out that my statement that I was putting my presidency on the line in the fight against galamsey was neither bombast nor recklessness. It was the simple truth. We have tried many initiatives, including that of the community mining scheme and the establishment of a new legal regime for dealing with the perpetrators of this phenomenon, which has imposed severe sanctions on those Ghanaians and foreigners convicted of illegal mining. Still, we have not won the fight.
Away from illegal mining, family of Muhammad Idris, popularly known as Kaka, who was killed in a jura, is alleging that government is intentionally frustrating them with the prosecution of Kaka's brother, Idi Mohammed. Idi Mohammed was named as the lead suspect by the police in the killing of the social activist. The family says prosecutors have since March 2022 failed to show up even once in court to argue their case. According to spokesperson for the family, Nafui Mohammed, it is a strategy to frustrate and disgrace the family. He spoke at a news conference here in Accra.
How wicked can we be? How more do you want to destroy our family? How more do you want to destroy our family? Over the past 16 months, since Idi was arrested together with those who killed Kaka, the prosecutors have not stepped in court even once. Just yesterday we were at court and no prosecutor was in court. We have been attending court every single day, and yet the prosecutors does not even bother to show up. What kind of justice system is this? What more do you want from us? What more do you want from us? When is enough enough? This must stop. This victimization must stop. We are nothing but a poor family. We are nothing but a poor family. Enough is enough. This attempt to use government officials to smuggle Idi out of this country in order to accuse him of running away shows your wickedness. All you care about is your PR and propaganda. Shame on you all who are involved. May Allah deal with you as He considered appropriate. I re-echo that statement. May Allah deal with any individual as He considers appropriate. May you never get away with the pain and suffering you have caused my family entirely.
Families of some victims who sustained injuries in the Ejura shootings are unhappy. Government has neglected them. They said even after they provided all documents relating to their medical condition, government is yet to pay compensation.
If we say assembly, still our crown, yes, no, one still our hospital. You buy a crown, hospital, crown, drowse, or comprin, while we are general to one mumprin. You see, I'm an old cassette, me phone cry belly. And your number, me pick it because of a car me did. Nina was near my wheel.
She herself has a psychological problem because she was part of those people who picked up her husband in a pool of blood. So psychologically, she's also affected. And as at now, if not with the support of our council, with other aides who usually visit, Islamic clerics who usually visit the family to advise and other things, I don't think any psychologist has ever been in our house.
Let's do some other stories here on Newsdesk. The Chief Justice Kwesi Anini-Yeboah is assuring the Ghanaian citizenry of his commitment to uphold the integrity of the judiciary. He says his administration is devoted to delivering quality justice services to Ghanaians. He, however, challenged professionals in the justice delivery sector to work towards correcting the poor public perception about the judiciary in recent times.
The Chief Justice was addressing the first quadrennial Delegates Congress of the Senior Staff Association of Judiciary Service of Ghana after it broke away from the Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana in 2018. The association includes court clerks, interpreters, registrars, and bailiffs. The 5-day conference is themed Promoting Efficiency in Justice Delivery, the Role of Staff and Management.
I wish to draw your attention to the fact that our services constitute public goods, and as staff of the judicial service, you cannot remain insular and detached from the regular accountability demands made of the judiciary. In other words, you need to understand from the outset that as public entities, I am referring to both the judiciary and the judicial service, the general public have a stake in terms of our competency, efficiency, and institutional integrity. Therefore, as Chief Justice, and I speak for management too, I welcome constructive dialogue and informed suggestions that have the potential of endangering growth and efficiency in justice delivery. Management is determined to build a trustworthy and robust institution, as can be clearly gathered from the various reform initiatives underway. We cannot enhance our efficiency in the justice system without the application of ICT solutions, which with specific focus on the courts in particular, and you, as staff, must ensure that these interventions work, because we must be abreast with what is going on in other jurisdictions.
Justice Anini-Yeboah implored association members to commit to good work ethics and strive for excellence.
On this note, I entreat the leadership of both unions, USAG and SAJU, to collaborate at all times to achieve their collective interests as stipulated in the labor regulations of 2003. I charge both unions to endeavor to work together in unity and avoid unnecessary rivalry and friction to create a healthy working environment. For it is said, in unity is strength.
National President of SAJU, Marilyn Suta, called on the Chief Justice and the judiciary to motivate long-standing and hard-working staff at the Ghana Judiciary Service.
Judicial staff are faced with several challenges in the course of executing our daily tasks. Notable among them are limited resources, the deplorable state of some of the courts, inadequate capacity building programs for staff, and the absence of award schemes for hard-working and long-serving staff. Due to the peculiar nature of our jobs, most staff of the service, especially the court staff are unable to seek other job opportunities elsewhere because the knowledge acquired in the courts are not applicable in other institutions except those that may be legally inclined.
In response, Justice Enim Yeboah acknowledged workers are entitled to decent wages and management must ensure staff are adequately motivated to execute their duties satisfactorily. Clinton Yeboah's report for JoyNews.
11 months ago, a toll booth worker, Evelyn Gadri, lost her job, although government has failed to honor the promise of reassigning them to perform other duties. She started hawking in the streets to survive. Besides dangerously meandering through traffic to sell her wares, the biggest challenge she faces is access to transport. She told JoyNews' features editor Kojo-Manu that a driver of the Ayalo Metro Mars denied her access to board the bus because of her disability.
Evelyn Gadri lost her job when the government of Ghana discontinued the operation of road tolls in November 2021. Although the finance minister, Koforidua, stated that road toll workers will be reassigned, that promise has yet to be fulfilled 11 months later.
The toll collection personnel will be reassigned. The expected impact on productivity and reduce environmental pollution will more than offset the revenue foregone.
Evelyn has been dangerously weaving through traffic in her wheelchair, hawking to make ends meet. Evelyn exudes positive energy and wears a smile to captivate and disarm her customers. When I ask her how she commutes from Pokwase to Achimota every day to sell, her smile quickly fades.
I am really pained. The Metro Mars driver disrespected me because of my disability. The driver even threw my things out.
She says getting access to transportation is always a major challenge.
Getting access to Trotro is difficult. The driver has no time to park my wheelchair.
She vividly describes how the driver of the Alolo bus denied her access.
The other time, the Metro Mars driver refused to drop me at Achimota Melcom bus stop. He took me all the way to Achimota station, so I argued with him. I asked him if he expects me to carry my wheelchair all the way to that location. He said he regretted allowing me on board and that we, the people with disabilities, are troublesome. The next time I wanted to board, he refused.
Evelyn would like Metro Mars officials to line up drivers so she can identify the driver who discriminated against her. Article 4 of Ghana's PWD Act 715 prohibits all forms of discrimination against persons with disabilities. But Evelyn says that is only on paper. She wants authorities to look into the matter and punish the driver who denied her access on board the Alolo bus. Kojo-Manu, JoyNews.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. As part of the 2022 World Habitat Day celebration, cities and habitats developers of the Planned Cities Extension Project and Ecobank Ghana PLC have partnered to launch a new home ownership package called the Rent-to-Own Boafo Home Ownership Package. According to project manager Daniel Edu, the project seeks to help home seekers to fast-track access to their homes with the help of the bank by raising the 20% required under the scheme before they are given occupancy. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch.
The Rent-to-Own Home Ownership Package is a payment method planned to ease the financial burden of home seekers by affording them early occupancy of the property within 18 months from the payment of the initial deposit. Daniel Edu said it's the desire of the project to find workable solutions to ensure that home ownership is made easy for all.
We are here to commemorate, as you're aware, the World Habitat Day. And fortunately, the product that we have, we announced today, coincides with the theme for the World Habitat Day, which is Mind the Gap, Leave No Place or Person Behind. And our product, which we call the Boafo Rent-to-Own Boafo Package, Rent-to-Own Boafo Package, with the support or with the partnership of EcoBank, basically is going to help people, and many people for that matter, to own or access their houses, much earlier. So you want to do the rent to own, the monthly payments, but you want your house early because, you are very tight. And EcoBank is also there to assist. But what we are saying is that in order to be able to help you to do that, we can give you, for the 20%, give you 15% discount of that 20% that you need before you get the house.
Executive Director Consumer Banking at EcoBank Ghana, Dr. Edward Boche, on his part said the package is a great initiative to support home seekers.
EcoBank, one of the things that we try to do is to ensure that we meet the needs of our customers. And obviously, housing is a big need. And in any way that we can help, we are happy to do so. As you well know, we have several other options. And for us, this is an additional option that our customers can then use to acquire their own home. So within that context, we are most happy to be a part of this.
The 2022 World Habitat Day is under the theme, Mind the Gap, Leave No One and Place Blind.
Now, sourcing for funds has been identified as one of the major challenges facing the poultry industry in Ghana, a situation the farmers say needs to be looked at to save the industry. And because of that, Fidelity Bank and the Eco Business Fund have indicated their commitment to continue to support the financing of the sector. This was made known at a two-day agricultural summit for stakeholders in the poultry industry from 7 regions in Sunyani to dialogue on ways to address the challenges facing the poultry sector. Precious Semevo has more.
The two-day summit, organized in Sunyani by Fidelity Bank in partnership with the Eco Business Fund, aimed at discussing economical and sustainable solutions to the challenges faced by the local poultry sector to contribute to food security. It offered farmers and other stakeholders from Ashanti, Northeast, Bono East, Savannah, Upper West and East regions a mixture of training and knowledge-sharing sessions on access to finance for inputs and feeding, sustainable farm management practices, disease control, insurance, as well as how to navigate the impact of climate change. Ni Ayi Mokobi Aye is head of commercial and SME banking at Fidelity Bank.
One of our key partners, Eco Business Fund and Finance in Motion. We have entered into some financing arrangements with this fund, and they have provided us some money to on-lend to key agri value chain. And we think that the poultry sector is one of the key sectors that we need to look at. The whole idea is also a part of the arrangement that we do have with the fund, because it's not just an on-lending program, but also the ability to also provide technical assistance to you, the end borrowers.
Nurutina Metafendi, the Senior Investment Officer of the Eco Business Fund, said the partnership includes supporting agro-value chain financing.
Eco Business Fund, which is an impact fund promoting sustainable agriculture by tackling climate resilience practices and preserving the biodiversity. Through this, our partnerships, we are further supporting Fidelity's existing and very ambitious agricultural agri-value chain financing, which also includes poultry.
Some of the farmers hope the initiative by Fidelity Bank and Eco Business Fund would have a positive impact on their businesses, especially sourcing funds for sustainability and growth of the sector.
Every farmer is complaining about the high cost of production, and at the same time we lack capital. And I think if you are part of this meeting, you have to be happy, thinking that in the end, it is not going to be the usual talk show like we used to have in the country. So the organizers will tell us something in the line of how best we can source funds, that is capital, to inject into our various businesses.
We're grateful to Fidelity Bank for organizing such a program for we the farmers to know what is expected of us when we go to the banks, to feel more comfortable to approach the banks, especially Fidelity Bank, since they are willing to help us in so many ways, and they are training us on how to network with others and how to manage our finances.
Precious Semevo, Joy Business, Sunyani.
And that's business. The news continues after this break.
Thanks for staying with us here on News Desk. The Consumer Protection Agency has called on the NCA and the Ministry of Communications to investigate the sale of SIM cards that are already registered. According to the Chief Executive of the Consumer Protection Agency, Kofi Kapito, some individuals are using the personal details of people with or without their permission to register SIM cards and selling them on the open market. He believes the illegality poses a security threat and must be dealt with immediately. He spoke at a news conference.
The CPA heard that some SIMs are being sold on the market already registered to people's identification. And we felt it was not possible. But upon our investigation, we've managed to secure some of these SIM cards. We would like it to also go extra mile, get the security agencies involved. If you arrive at Kotoka Airport, some people are there selling you pre-registered SIM cards. Circle, that is an open market. We bought 15 from Circle. We bought some just across the street from my office. Some at Kotoka Airport. The same first day that we went, they sold them to us at 10 cedis. Second day it was 15. The third day it was 20. So the more demand is put on it, the higher the price go. And these are people, I don't know where they sit, but if you go to Circle, if you go to these places that I have spoken about, you will be able to get a SIM which is not your name. Because you shouldn't get a SIM that is not in your name. I have managed to purchase or get a SIM card registered to him. It's pure national security issue. Because the same thing that we are trying to fight, that we want to identify people behind mischiefs. If we can identify them, then did we, as the Ghana would say, did we call, did we come? So it is a national security, all security agencies should be serious about it. The minister and the NCA should be up and doing the telcos because it is their business.
And that's it. Up next is sports, and Lawrence joins me in the studio.